Okay, let's try this again. The internet dropped there. It's pretty freaking windy outside, so I'm not sure if that had to do with it or if it was something to do with the stream. But we're back. Okay. What were we talking about? We were talking about bioprinting. We came up through the 80s. And I just took a note about the whole Bill Gates thing. I don't know if what he does is bioprinting meat or if it's growing meat like in a petri dish. I'm not sure. I don't know if those go hand in hand. I have no idea. Bioprinting uses a layer by layer method to deposit materials known as bioinks to create tissue-like structures that are later used in various medical and tissue engineering fields. 3D bioprinting covers a broad range of bioprinting techniques and biomaterials. Currently, bioprinting can be used to print tissue and organ models to help research drugs and potential treatments. Organ models. So they print like a 1/5 size heart or like liver or something, and then they can apply the drugs to it and see if those said drugs work. Sorry, I move the mic a lot. You might get used to it. It might piss you off, but I'm constantly moving the mic. That's why I have this. Here, actually, I have this shock thing. So when I'm touching the arm, I hope anyway. I mean, it does make a little bit of sound here and there, doesn't it? We'll see if it keeps bugging. If it bugs people, then I'll try and stop. But sorry, it's probably noisy right now. Gotta fix this Velcro thing. I apologize. Probably making all sorts of noise. Anyways, but that's why I have that shock thing, because I move the mic because I'm looking over here and then I'm looking over here, but I want to constantly be talking correctly to the mic. So anyways, you're going to have to live in this crazy world of my brain while we go through these podcast whatever learning experiences. I enjoy it though. So let me see. Used to print tissue and organ models to help research drugs and potential treatments. Nonetheless, translation of bioprinted living cellular constructs into clinical application is met with several issues due to the complexity and cell number necessary to create functional organs. This is the part that I want to know about. 3D printing has begun to incorporate the printing of scaffolds, which can be used to regenerate joints and ligaments. Apart from these, 3D bioprinting has recently been used in environmental remediation applications, including the fabrication of functional biofilms that host functional microorganisms that can facilitate pollutant removal. Functional biofilms. I wonder where they put these biofilms. Like on build, I wonder if they're coated. That'd be crazy if you could get into like coating buildings and stuff like that. Like skyscrapers with biofilm that hosts functional microorganisms that can facilitate the removal of pollutants, like from the air. Or even further, the water as it rains and cascades down the building, it removes pollutants and toxins. So when it goes back into the groundwater or back out into the open waterways, there's not insane amounts. This is crazy. That's something else I need to write down now. Functional biofilm. and its functional biofilm and its uses, because that is wild. And I need to know more. We're gonna look at another article about the printing of the bioprinting of these scaffolds that they're talking about, because that is crazy to me as well. I'm just curious if it's literally like a scaffold within the joint that grows back the ligaments, and well, I guess they say it grows back the joint. So is it just a scaffold in that vacant space that grows back the joint and the ligament? We'll look at another article about that in one sec. And trust me, guys, you might get bored out of your tree listening to me talk about this shit, but whatever. I enjoy it, like I said, and hopefully some people will pick up on it, whether now or later, and enjoy it too. I'm going to try and be more detailed with the titles as I move forward with these streams, because I'd like people to be able to find them in the future. And I will be recording them going forward, not tonight, but going forward, I will be recording them, because I want to be able to cut them up and add graphics and maybe some images and make videos like that type of format videos that I can upload. So what do I want to write down here? What did I say? The biofilms. And the pollutant. Pollutant. Removal. That's crazy. If that's what I'm thinking it is, I'm going to do more research on that, and maybe we'll talk about it another time. But if that's what I'm envisioning, that's insane. And did my camera just freeze? That's even more insane. That's because of this little computer that I'm using. That's funny. Oh well. We will live with it. I'm gonna probably continue to try and get that other computer going, but I'm not holding my breath. We'll have to see, because it would be more capable than this mini computer. But for what I'm trying to do, it's fine. I've got my audio and my video right in front of me. So now I know if I'm muted. Now I know if the camera freezes, so I can refresh it pretty much right away. Okay. So that's crazy. The biofilms, that just in itself blows my mind. Pre-bioprinting. Pre-bioprinting is the process of creating a model that the printer will later create. Somebody needs to proofread this article. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Pre-bioprinting is the process of creating a model that the printer will later create and choosing the material. I'm just going to read it. Pre-bioprinting is the process of creating a model that the printer will later create and choosing the materials that will be used. One of the first steps is to obtain a biopsy of the organ. To sample the cells, common technology used for bioprinting are computed tomography, CT, computed. Common technologies used for bioprinting. No way. So they take a CT scan and an MRI scan. I mean, that's how it's imaging, is layer by layer, so it does make sense. Tomographic reconstruction done on the images. The now 2D images are then sent to the printer to be made. Once the image is created, certain cells are isolated and multiplied. These cells are then mixed with a special liquefied material that provides oxygen and other nutrients to keep them alive. This aggregation of cells does not require a scaffold and is required for placing in the tubular-like tissue fusion for process such as extrusion. This is crazy. In the second step, the liquid mixture of cells, matrix, and nutrients, known as bioinks. We'll just call them bioinks because the other description is kind of eh. In the second step, the bioinks are placed in a printer cartridge. No way. And deposited using the patient's medical scans. When a bioprinted pre-tissue is transferred to an incubator, the cell-based pre-tissue matures into a tissue. A biocompatible scaffold. 3D printing for fabricating biological constructs typically involves dispensing cells onto a biocompatible scaffolding, using a successive layer-by-layer approach to generate tissue-like three-dimensional structures. I mean, it's got to be deeper than that. You can't just 3D print an organ and expect it to work. And that's what it's saying here. Artificial organs such as livers and kidneys made by 3D bioprinting have been shown to lack crucial elements that affect the body, such as working blood vessels, tubules for collecting urine, and the growth of billions of tubules for collecting urine, and the growth of billions of cells required for these organs. I don't know. That's crazy. Okay. Anyways, back to that was a hell of a rabbit hole. Back to what we were talking about here. So that was 2000, first bioprinted scaffolding. Okay, so 2000. 2005 RepRap open source project launches. I wanted to look more into that, to the actual RepRap project, because I've often gotten the two confused just because they sound similar, RepRap and RatRig. But the RepRap was like an actual movement. It was the movement of printers spawning printers. That's what the RepRap movement was. And it was all open source. So let me see. RepRap explain. I want to kind of look into that a little bit. Yeah, that's the RepRap festival, right? What does the M stand for? RRF. What does the RM stand for? RepRap is humanity's first general-purpose self-replicating manufacturing machine. RepRap takes the form of a free desktop 3D printer. Capable of printing plastic objects, obviously. Since many parts of RepRap are made from plastic and RepRap prints those parts, RepRap self-replicates by making a kit of itself. A kit that anyone can assemble given time and materials. It also means that if you've got a RepRap, you can print lots of useful stuff. And you can print another RepRap for a friend. RepRap is about making self-replicating printers and making them freely available for the benefit of everyone. Huh. TEDxEWB talk. What is this? Adrian Boyer at Imperial College London introduces RepRap printing to do this. RepRap is a community project. Yeah. Open source. Oh, reprap.org itself is a community project, which means you're welcome to edit most of the pages. Wow. Or create new pages on your own. Our community portal and new development pages have more information, blah, blah, blah. In 2017, RepRap was voted the most significant 3D printed object in 2017. How's it going, Cody? How's it going, buddy? Got a bit of a different feel to this stream. This is kind of how it's going to go. I got my iPad, and then I drop links. I'm going to be dropping links to things that I find into the stream itself. Because I don't want to be messing with scenes or anything, because this computer is a little baby computer and I just want it to focus on the stream. But I wanted to do this like podcast, kind of go down rabbit holes, shoot the shit stream type feel. So here we are. So that's what I'm reading about right now. It said, what did it say? 2017. My notes were saying 2005 is when RepRap really started, but then it took off in 2009. And then it took 2000 until 2017 until it got that type of crazy recognition. Like, I mean, it was already recognized by all the DIY people and everything, so. Watch be dinging. Okay. 2005, like I said. So what happened from 2005 to 2017? I wonder if they talk about the history in that. They must, in this website. Let me move this over here. The first of the low-cost 3D printers. RepRap. Why have I never seen like have I seen like a straight up actual RepRap? Like, I can't say off the top, bam, or are all these printers RepRaps? Like, are all the Vorons and everything or is there a specific RepRap with files and build a RepRap? Let's see. Build a RepRap. Let's keep going. Has become the most widely used 3D printer among the global members of the maker community. Voted the most significant 3D printed object in 2017. That is to say, people think that the most important thing you can print in a 3D printer is another 3D printer. I mean, it is pretty dope. It's actually like really dope that you can print a printer with a printer. Midwest Rat Rig Festival. Yeah, I've seen that festival. Is that the one you went to, Mike? You and the other Mike? I think you guys went to that one. Or was it another one? In 2017, RepRap's creator, Adrian Boyer, was he the doctor that they were talking about? Yeah. Or maybe not doctor, but professor or whatever. I'm sure people were doing it previous to that, using printers to spawn printers, but he's the first to be like, this is amazing. For the last 3 years, you've gone. That's awesome. That's really cool. That would be that would be super neat to get down to. Where is it always in the same place, or where is it this year? Some of these look crazy. Like this first one looks wild. It's got like a wooden bed. I don't know if maybe that's a CNC. Anyways, 2017 RepRap's creator Adrian Boyer was awarded the 3D printing industry's outstanding contribution to 3D printing award and was inducted into the 3D printing Hall of Fame. I didn't even know there was a Hall of Fame. In 2019, Adrian was awarded what's an MBE? By Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II for his work with RepRap. What the heck? RepRap state of the art is well represented. RepRap's gone large. Now RepRap's going small with the RepRap Micron. It's crazy. They've got that page that I linked. They've got graphs and everything. A family using one RepRap printer to print only 20 domestic products a year can expect to save between $300 and $2,000 per year. This also goes hand in hand with the fact that 3D printers are becoming appliances, not just DIY things for people that want to tinker to have. They're actually becoming appliances that you're going to have in your home, like everywhere. Everyone's going to have them. Just like, yeah, it's wild. MRRF. RM. Oh, the M one is the Midwest one. The RM is Rocky Mountain. Where is that one? Is that one in Colorado or close to Colorado or somewhere around there? Also, let me see builder RepRap. What's the RepRap Snappy? RepRap focused on clip together assembly and maximizing replicated part count. So is a Voron considered RepRap or no? A Prusa Mendel. Full-sized RepRap focused on low cost and easy sourcing. A Mendel Max. Full-sized RepRap focused on structural rigidity and ease of assembly. These are crazy. RepRap Pro Tricolor Mendel. RepRap design that gives multi-material, multicolor 3D printing. Are you serious? RepRap Pro Ormerod. RepRap design that is quick to assemble and gives mono or multi-material 3D printing. Dude. I can't be looking at these. RepRap Pro. Overview. Oh, the web page is down. That's not fun. Maybe it's not supported much anymore. These things are nuts. Mechanical, electrical, frame assembly. Where's I don't see the STLs in here. I'll have to do more research on that. That's another note I'm going to take. RepRap Pro Tricolor. I'm guessing that means you can print 3 colors. I can't really tell. Actually, yes, I can tell. There's 3 extruders on the top. That's freaking neat. It is Colorado, eh? Okay. RepRap Pro. What did I say it's called? Tricolor. That's super interesting. So much to learn, man. So freaking much to learn. Okay, so RepRap Pro Tricolor. This Ormerod thing looks like the Ormerod. This Ormerod. RepRap Pro Ormerod. ORMEROD. It looks like the Bamboo A1 or whatever it is. Overview. I think it's the A1. Is the A1 the one with the single arm? This thing looks sick. Current version of the Ormerod is Ormerod 2. Is a machine designed from RepRap Pro. The machine is fast to assemble. Networked 3D printer with non-contact bed probe for full geometric compensation. Its primary design goal is to offer a printer which is easy to expand in functionality, fast to replicate, and fast to assemble and to commission. This new model builds on the already established designs and technical advances which have undergone brisk development and heavy testing since the RepRap project's inception in 2004. That goes hand in hand with my 2005 comment. The RepRap Pro Ormerod is a monochrome 3D printer configured to work with one type of plastic at a time. However, RepRap Pro Ormerod is fundamentally designed to work with 3 deposition heads, and an upgrade kit will be available soon. All right, Mike, I appreciate you hanging out, buddy. Thank you, sir. Fully open source, self-replicating, 32-bit Arduino, compatible Duet electronics, enable control via a web browser. Wiring loom for simple plug-in connection, no soldering. IR probing for self-aligning printing, no bed adjustment required. Build volume, that's not even too, well, it's kind of small, but it's not too small. 200 by 200 by 200. Printing materials, PLA, ABS. Build surface. PCB heated bed to reduce complexity of assembly and to ensure parts do not warp. USB and Ethernet. Linear ball bearings on X, Y, and Z. Oh, you can actually get just the hardware kit, the full kit. I wonder if this website's going to open or if it's broken. It's broken. That is so discouraging. So you can't even get a kit anymore? Oh, you can from these guys. From the UK, though. Oh, no, you can't. I guess you'd have to build it completely. I know, like, it's probably an old design, but that's super cool. And it reminds me of the bamboo, the A1 or whatever it is, the small one. But that one can do multiple colors. Okay. Back to the history. So that was 2005, and then obviously you can see they were still rocking 2017. I just tried to go to their different kit sites and let me see. It's not working. So let's come back to yeah, there's no real links to kits other than those. So I'm going to have to assume that that's going to be really tough to get a hold of one these days. So 2009, I already mentioned that the patent expires. Consumer explosion happens. Companies come out of the woodwork and start actually creating companies, even though I'd probably guarantee you they've been in the woodwork, like, per se, since 2005 ish, with ideas in their head, like Joseph Prusa is a perfect example. Prusa i3, Ender 3, and then printers, the resin printers drop in price. After that kind of Wild West boom, now we're up to like 2019-ish, and people are focusing on ease of use for like residential printers. And companies like Elegoo start to show up, and they show up with printers like the Neptune 3 series, which was incredible, and they were selling them for like 250, 300 bucks. And you didn't have to assemble it like an Ender or like one of those printers. It was the whole bottom of the printer was already assembled. All you had to do was put the uprights on, plug a few things in, and let it do its bed level calibration, and then you could print a benchy. My first 3D printer probably took me half an hour, not even 20 minutes, to go from opening the box to printing a benchy. And that is exactly why I went with that printer, because I was waiting for something to become that. And then, so when that happened, I was all over it. I was like, okay, Elegoo, you're my jam. Now, fast forward. It's only 3 years, though. That's mind-blowing. I could have sworn it was I could have sworn it was pre-COVID. 2022. Anyways, that's hard to believe. But let's just say 2022. It's crazy that it's only been 3 years. Wow. So where we're at now is Clipper revolution. We're living in a Clipper world, and people are focusing on two things: speed. Oh, smacking the mic. People are focusing on two things: speed and multi-material. Three things. Well, it's those two things plus the third. So having those two things and then having reliability with those two things, that's for sure where we're at right now. And I would say we're basically there, because you introduced bamboo and that was a game changer. Game changer. People can hate on it as much as they want, but they forced the technology forward. They forced even the DIY world to be like, fuck, we got to do something here or we're going to get run over, and people are just going to say, I've had enough of DIY. And I know there's the argument that people will never say that, and I completely agree, because like 50% of the market is DIY. But there is a good chunk of that 50% that could get whittled down by just ease of use. I'm sure they'll always have that DIY printer, but the one that's going to be cranking things out, and the one they'll probably buy 1, 2, 3, 4 of, is going to be the reliable one, whether it's Elegoo. You're seeing FlashForge and the 85X. You're also seeing, is it, who makes the S1? Is it FlashForge as well? I can't remember. I've almost bought that printer a few times as well, the S1. And now they've got, I think it's the S1 Max with their Ace Pro multicolor system. Anyways, it's a wild world. So that was just like a general gloss over of the history of 3D printing, and then kind of where we're at now, just generalization. I deep dove a little bit into certain things that caught my interest, but nothing too crazy. As I go forward with these episodes, I want to go deeper into different things. So, like, for example, one episode down the road might just be about 3D print, the bioprinting. And some of these might strike people's chords as far as interest or not interest, and that's fine. You can always skip to the next one, or stay tuned for another day where I'll be doing my normal live stream. Well, this will become a part of the norm, but where I'll be doing my in the dungeon, in the lab, creating and all that type of thing. Like tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of stickers, because I'd like to get some sticker packs up on the website. And I'd also, I need some H2O, but I'd also like to get a couple of those metal prints up there and get that finished. So this has been a great test. Other than the dropped internet, which was not the computer's fault, the modem actually dropped the internet because I think it's windy out. I might have to adjust the white balance, but because I'm looking a little white, or adjust the Kelvin of the screen. I'm looking a little white on the stream, but that's okay. We'll play with that. I think it looks good with the two signs and the James Webb. Nice and simple. Just podcast atmosphere, shoot the shit. As we go along, hopefully we'll be able to bring more people in, maybe some guests. That's the plan anyway. I would love to do it. I love learning. Even if there's not too many people in the chat engaging, it's fine with me, because I'm learning as we go, and talking out loud helps me do that. So I figured I would click the stream button and see if anyone wanted to appreciate that too. That being said, I freaking need some H2O. I'm hungry, and I think I'm done with this test for now, because it was a screaming success. We've been going 45 minutes. Previous to the internet dropping, we were going for about 45 minutes, so hour and a half-ish. That's all I really want to expect out of these. Going forward, there's not going to be a break in the middle. From an hour and a half to 3 hours, that's what I want out of these, depending how engaged people get. And yeah, tomorrow evening we're doing an outreach program. It's going to be cold as shit, but it's supposed to be an awesome full moon. So I'm going to be bringing Big Blue and the Smart Telescope, the S50, and a whole bunch of 3D printed little gadgets and stuff, trinkets that I want to give out to the kids that are going to be down there. Hopefully, we'll see. Should be a good night though, seeing the Astro folk. Anyways, I appreciate everyone for stopping in. Anyone that's been lurking. Hopefully the audio was okay. As far as my end goes, it looks like the audio was okay, but I can't really tell. Give me some feedback in the Discord if you were in here and heard the stream at all. That being said, I appreciate you guys very much. Thanks for hanging out. Anyone that lurked, if you're new around here, hit the sub button, hit the thumbs up button. I'll be doing these probably once. Well, talk a lot of shit. I want to do these a lot, so I might do one of these in the morning and then a normal stream in the afternoon. We'll get it all figured out as life unfolds for us. Thank you very much for being here. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. We'll talk again soon.